Welcome to Your Morning. I'm Lindsey Deluce.
Hello.
Hi to you.
Hi. Hi, I'm Kelsey McEwen. Hope your day is off to a great start.
So we're obviously in studio. Anne-Marie has been on assignment, and she is joining us this morning from Windsor, Ontario. Good morning to you.
Hi.
Hey. Good morning, everybody from Windsor, in particular from St. Clair College. We're along the beautiful Windsor riverfront. Behind me, you can see it all lit up. This is the mega skyline of Detroit, and we've brought your morning here because the impact of tariffs from the Trump White House were felt almost immediately here. In fact, workers who are wrapping up their shifts today at the Stellantis assembly plant don't even know if they're coming back to work on Monday. That is the level of uncertainty here, guys, and we heard it from almost everybody we spoke with. How prevalent is the conversation about tariffs in Windsor?
It's very concerning. It could impact everything for us, even grocery prices, I assume. It impacts my work. I can't say too much. I work in travel insurance, but we've already been seeing the impact.
Oh yeah, in what way?
Well, people are traveling less to the United States, and that directly affects us.
It's indirectly affecting people, businesses, and since Windsor is the automotive hub in Canada, and they are, and I personally think that the Americans are dependent on Canadian businesses.
Nobody seems to know what to expect. Uncertainty would be the word I'd use.
I think everyone here is affected. We're an auto city, really, and my sister is affected. She's already been laid off from Chrysler, I believe. I think she said they're going back next week, but she's a student. So they're not calling back any of the students or temp workers, so she hasn't worked in 2 weeks.
We have an election coming up after the weekend. How do tariffs play into the election and how people are thinking about voting?
I think people are looking for hope, but it is what it is. I don't think it matters what party gets in. The situation is the way it is. It's not gonna make a difference. Really, it's more or less out of our control.
Yeah, well, that's what Frank said. Everybody feels like whatever's happening is really out of their control. Kelsey and Lindsey, I wanted to point out, the first time we came down to this riverfront, the thing that struck me most was, wow, the U.S. is really close. Like, Detroit is really close. You could take a boat and go across the river in 5 minutes. And you get a real sense of how a broken economic relationship here changes everything. But, you know, it's not only manufacturing and auto parts. 80% of the agriculture that's grown in this area heads south to the U.S. market. And the goods that are, I can see them. I can see the trucks crossing the Ambassador Bridge right now. That accounts for 25% of all Canada-U.S. trade. So what will that look like under tariffs? We're going to show you coming up. But Lindsey, I'm going to send it back to you for the rest of the news this morning.
All right, Anne-Marie, thanks so much. We, of course, are going to check in with Anne-Marie all morning and the perspective from that side. Party leaders are sticking to their key messages as the election campaign enters its final weekend.
After the lost Liberal decade of rising costs and crime and a falling economy under America's thumb, we cannot afford a fourth Liberal term.
Campaigning in Halifax and then Saskatoon yesterday, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre once again made his pitch for change. He also said a Conservative government will scrap the federal electric vehicle mandate. Meanwhile, Liberal leader Mark Carney made a campaign stop in Winnipeg last night.
But what it really will do is usher in a new era of investment, jobs, growth.
Mark Carney was selling voters on his messages to boost trade within the country and support workers impacted by the U.S. trade war. And NDP leader Jagmeet Singh was also in Manitoba yesterday.
People saw the benefit of having 3 new Democrats here in Manitoba.
Jagmeet Singh driving home his message that the New Democrats have a role to play in Parliament, reminding voters of the party's role in bringing in dental care and pharmacare as well. Ontario's SIU is investigating after a fatal police-involved shooting at Pearson International Airport in Toronto.
Abruptly, one of the individuals produced a firearm at our officers. 2 of the officers engaged with the individual. As a result, the subject was shot.
So here's what we know. Officers were called to the Terminal 1 departures area yesterday morning, that area you're looking at. This was for a reported curbside dispute between a group of people. Police tried to de-escalate the situation. Things quickly turned. A 30-year-old man was shot. outside the terminal after police said he abruptly pulled out a gun. 2 officers discharged their firearms. The man was shot and died on scene. The officers involved in the shooting were not hurt. The road to Terminal 1, by the way, the departures level, it's fully reopened now for both parking and passenger drop-off. Flights in and out of Pearson are operating as normal this morning. The measles outbreak in Ontario has now passed 1,000 cases.
We've been for over a year reinforcing the importance for public health units to refocus their efforts on childhood vaccines.
Public Health Ontario reported 95 new cases since 1 week ago. That pushes the total number of cases to 1,020 since October 18th. 76 patients have been hospitalized, most of them unvaccinated. Measles cases have been reported in 15 public health units across Ontario. A playoff tradition in Montreal has been changed because of Quebec's language law.
Okay, that's crazy. They should keep it as go Habs go. Everybody understands go. Everyone knows what the Habs are. I don't see the issue.
So city buses are no longer allowed to show the message, go Habs, go. See what it is now? Allez, Canadien, allez. So different, right? Quebec's Office of French Language says it asked the STM to make the change after it received a complaint last year about a support message from Montreal's soccer team. The Canadiens are sticking with Go Habs Go, by the way, on its towels and flags. The Quebec government isn't getting involved, saying it's an issue between the STM and Language Office. For the second straight game, the Battle of Ontario needed overtime.
Matthews wins the draw. Benoit scores! Simone Benoit!
At least 3-0, 4-0. It's going to be an absolute sweep.
It only took 1 minute and 19 seconds into OT when Benoit, the OT hero, overtime hero, the Leafs beat the Sens 3-2. They have now won back-to-back games in overtime. Toronto, I've never said this before. Toronto leads the first round series 3-0. What? We'll look to sweep the Senators tomorrow night in Ottawa. Meanwhile, the Jets had a tough time on the ice in Game 3 of their first round series against St. Louis. The Jets lost 7-2. But Winnipeg still leads its series. Meanwhile, the Habs and Oilers both play tonight in their Game 3 matchups. Their opposing teams, LA Kings, Washington Capitals, are both leading each series 2-0. There are no lies about this country festival lineup.
You ain't nothing but a liar. Yeah, I walk right out the fire.
Jelly Roll, just one of the many artists playing Stagecoach this weekend in California. I like Jelly Roll. T-Pain and Zach Bryan headlining tonight. Jelly Roll, Creed, Shabuzi hit the stage Saturday. And to close it all out, the Backstreet Boys. What? At Luke Combs. Stagecoach, the music festival, runs until Sunday.